I've always had really awesome math experiences. I had really awesome math teachers growing up. So I have always had a really good view of math and a positive outlook on math. And through this semester and math methods, I have also had a really good experience. I've learned a lot and have felt confident in everything that I've been doing and been asked to do. My field experience went really well, which is what I was the most concerned about. But everything went really well. And so my perspective on math has pretty much stayed the same. But that's good because I've already had a positive outlook. And so any change in my perspective would have been negative. And so since there was no perspective change, I think that that is good because it maintains that positive perspective that I've always had on math. My confidence in doing math at the beginning of the year was a 4. And this was because I felt pretty confident in all that I had been asked to do up until that point, and I had been really successful in math. It's probably been one of my strongest subjects in school, and I knew that I hadn't done all that there ever is to do in math and didn't have all the answers, so I didn't feel like a 5 was accurate. And now I would probably still put a 4. I still feel very confident in doing math and applying into whatever situation needs to be done. There's no significant gaps, I don't think, in my math knowledge. So I would still probably say a 4. I know that I don't know everything about math, so I don't think that I'm a 5, because if I were a 5, I would think that I would have all the answers to math, and I definitely do not. For teaching math at the beginning of the year, my confidence level was a 3, and this is because I was really concerned about teaching lower level math like kindergarten and first grade. Because it's been a really long time since I've done any of that math, and math has changed a lot since whenever I was in elementary school. So I wasn't sure how I would be able to carry out doing Common Core methods or just even remembering what all that was and bringing myself back to that frame of mind. But this semester I was in a first grade class, and so I got to experience that a little bit better and apply that knowledge this semester. So I would say that my confidence level went up to a 4. I had really good field experiences. Both of my math lessons went really well, and I think that the students learned well, and I did have to do a little bit more research on those types of things than what I think I would have to do for older grades, but it still went well. I was still able to be very successful. So I would say that my confidence level has gone up from the 3 to a 4. I still don't think I have all the answers and still don't know that I'm not going to worry and be nervous teaching lessons, so I don't think that I'm at a 5. But I think that my confidence has been raised a lot in teaching math because I'm no longer as concerned about the lower level grades as I was at the beginning of the year. I think that I can teach all the different grade levels as long as I apply myself. For my future math classroom, what I would want in my class would depend a lot on what age group I end up teaching. If I end up teaching younger grades, I would want it to be really colorful and really bright and fun and full of lower level math posters. For example, I would want to have a really big hundreds chart up on the wall so that my students could look up at it and see it, and I can reference it and we can use it as a class. I would also really like to have the numbers written really big around the wall and shapes around the wall, just so that the kids can use these from reference points throughout the year. I think they're still all learning all those different things, and it'd be helpful to just have those easily accessible for all of them. I would also like to have little hundreds charts like taped to each individual desk. My mentor teacher had this, and I thought that it was a really great idea. This allowed the students to be able to see it very easily and use it, and because if they're far away in the room, the one on the wall may be hard for them to see. So I thought that was really awesome, really helpful. For manipulatives, I would like to have a lot of the different counters. So like the teddy bear counters and the counters that are like circles with red on one side, white on the other side. The base 10 blocks, so the tens, ones, hundreds, thousands blocks that I think are really useful. My mentor teacher uses those a lot, and the students really were able to use those to help them solve math problems. So I would really like to have those. I would also really like to have an iPad for each of my students. My mentor teacher used these a lot in her classroom, and the students loved it. They were really engaged in their learning, and so I think that their learning was better because they were excited about learning. So I think that would be really helpful to have in my classroom. If I end up teaching older grades, which is where I think I'm going to end up, I would want to have higher level posters and manipulatives because they're learning math at a higher level. So I would like to have math posters that are more related to fractions and multiplication and division and decimals and probability and geometry or whatever is most appropriate for whatever grade level I'm teaching. I think especially the fractions because students, I think across the board, struggle with it. So I think that just having reference points of posters on the wall would be really helpful for them. For manipulatives, I would like to have the fraction manipulatives that we used in class that one day. I found those really helpful, and so I think that my students would find them really helpful. And I would still like to have some of the basic ones just because I may have students that are struggling more. And so I think that that would be really helpful for them too. Again, I would like to have the iPads in the classroom because I think those students will still enjoy that and have fun with that. So that will help engage them in their learning more so. And I really enjoyed this class. I found it to be really helpful, and it has really made me feel more confident in teaching math whenever I'm a future educator.